Okay. E3, 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 E3. What's good, everyone? I'm the Randomizer 118, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. Today, I'm going to be giving you my E3 roundup. So, the bits and pieces that I liked, the bits and pieces that I thought maybe could change, and some of the stuff that, you know, I'm fucking pumped for, because this was an insane E3, and I just want the stuff. That's all. What do I have to do to get the stuff? So without further ado, we're going to kick things off. So PlayStation had an unbelievable lineup of exclusives. It's the one thing that PlayStation does better than almost everybody there. I'd say almost, but I'm diehard Nintendo, so I have to disagree with PlayStation being top there. First off the bat, we've got The Last of Us Part 2. Now, I haven't played the entirety of the first one. I've played bits of it at people's houses and such because I've never owned a PlayStation in my life. However, the one thing I love about The Last of Us is how gritty and insanely brutal that the world that they set up could be. And I thought chucking a child like Ellie into the mix of that world and seeing how she reacts to it, I thought that was genius. I loved that idea. So I've been a fan of The Last of Us, even though I haven't played it since it came out. So seeing the trailer for The Last of Us 2 has got me excited to the point of maybe I could just take out a mortgage to buy a PlayStation, because it is insane, that trailer. So first thing to note is that Ellie is all grown up compared to where she was in the first one. And in the trailer we see that she's going out on a run in the morning. I think they're at a dance. It looks like it's some kind of like line dance, like a cowboy thing that they used to do. But essentially it shows us that Ellie's got a girlfriend, and that's obvious foreshadowing, I'm afraid. Either Ellie or the girlfriend will die and there will be heartbreak, so that you come back and buy part 3 when they eventually make that. But no, saying that, the relationship that they showed, they could only show so much in the short amount of time that they had, because obviously it was a trailer, well, it was a trailer, but it was a gameplay demo, so even though there was a trailer in there, they had to kind of shift it into gameplay. So there was less story, more, this is what the game will look like. So what they did in the time that they had was incredible. I fully bought into the world, and even though it is foreshadowing, I consider myself a novice writer, so I can kind of spot it when it comes up. But yeah, it's going to be really sad when that eventually goes sour, because, you know, in post-apocalyptic stories, a relationship can't last. Also, one thing I really did like is how prominent the guitar was in the music, which I thought was like a kind of subtle nod to Joel and how Joel was trying to teach Ellie to play the guitar. I just thought that was quite nice to throw back to, if that's where it came from. If not, it was really nice music and good choice. Next up on the list, we had Stranding. Now, the biggest thing that I took away from this trailer / demo is that the game still exists. Other than that one trailer with Norman Reedus, I think it was 2 years back now, nobody's heard anything about Death Stranding since then. There's only been like rumours that it's still going and things are happening. But it was good to see. It was just as confusing as where we were last time. Last time there was a trailer. But yeah, no, other than that, it looked like the face, the motion cap on the face was incredible. That looked like Norman Reedus, and I think that's where we are at with gaming graphics nowadays, is that it's just a person. You're playing a person, you're not playing a game anymore. You can get actors in to act in games, and have a believable experience playing the game as if you're playing this character. But also there was a thing with a fetus in like in a tank that I don't get, and some weird shadow people. But otherwise it looked cool, you know. Also, this being the first of the space ones, this will be the first time you hear me say this, but I was surprised by how beautiful the world looks and how immersive it feels. There's like environmental features that factor into how your character moves around. I think there's a bit in the trailer where he's carrying, I think it was a body on his back. And as he was walking, he was being blown around with the wind, which was actually really cool to see. Because there's a lot of climbing in that game and a lot of balancing, and it was just interesting to see how that factors into the game as a whole, whether it makes it either easier to play or difficult, more difficult to play. Yeah, that'd be quite interesting. So Death Stranding, still going, great, love it. Less pumped than The Last of Us, but that's because The Last of Us is a sequel. To me, at least, I always prefer sequels to brand new properties. And then finally, of note from PlayStation for me, we had the Spider-Man trailer, Marvel's Spider-Man. Now, when it was first announced and revealed, I think it was last year now, I wasn't excited about it at all. You know, superhero games to me have always been lackluster, to say the least, because like the whole point of the superhero genre is to be surprising and off the cuff with it. You know, so it's like, oh wow, I didn't see that they were going to do this, etc. And whereas like in a game, you're obviously sent down a very linear path from A to B, and it just doesn't feel good enough. You know, it just feels like, oh, I'm just playing, I could be playing Mario for all I care here. You know, there's no sense that I am this character, if that makes sense. But that said, the trailer, although linear, you know, the entire thing was down a corridor, it felt like a film. It felt like I was watching a film, especially with the cinematics. The cinematics in it were gorgeous. Really well done, really well animated. But yeah, no, it's not a lot to tell you really, because I up to date on my comic lore. I mean, I know the villains that were in it, other than Mr. Negative. That's the first time I've ever seen him, and I had to do some research to find out who he was. But I was wondering if it was going to end up being the Sinister Six as the villainous side of this Spider-Man film, but who knows? Guess we'll have to wait and see. So from there, we'll go on and talk about Bethesda. Now, to a lot of people, Bethesda absolutely killed E3 this year. They've come out on top. I disagree, but that's because I'm not big into Bethesda stuff, you know. But I can see why people loved it. I mean, the Fallout 76 trailer is awesome. I've always loved Fallout promotional material, largely because it just feels like it's right for the era it's set in. That being said, the song for this advert was Take Me Home, Country Roads, which is a beautiful choice. Whereas the last one, with Fallout 4, you had the Wanderer playing in the background. Because that's who you were. You were a wanderer through the wasteland, if you like, with your companion. Just trying to find pastures new, I guess. But Fallout 76 feels like it's going to be a lot more about the rebuild. Like, a lot of the narration from the trailer signposts towards this whole, oh, Vault 76 is going to be the start of something new. It's going to be the start of the world after everything, you know. So, and then obviously finding the suit in the ground and putting the suit back on to go back out into the world, it again gives that impression that 76 is going home. You know, it's helping you not helping you rebuild, but it's showing you that you're going to be rebuilding the world, even though the world is still in chaos with the mutants around and such. But again, linking back into the Take Me Home song, I feel like that's the way the story's going with that. So that'd be nice to see, and I probably will end up getting it, playing through it. It should be quite good. The Bethesda thing was very much Bethesda. You know, everything was very much what they wanted. For example, the next one, Elder Scrolls 6, they released a trailer at E3 saying that, hey, we're not doing Skyrim anymore. We're going on to something new. And the one thing that I loved about the trailer is how they started off with the Dragonborn music, and then as it went on, it changed into something not Dragonborn at the end, which was really quite nice to hear. I watched it through several times just because it gave me a chill every time I heard Dragonborn change to something else. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see where they go with Elder Scrolls 6. And then to finish off Bethesda being very Bethesda, they released a Doom trailer, which was very Doom. There was a lot of heavy guitar, a lot of hell, a lot of demons, and, well, a lot of awesome. Now, yeah, I've not been majorly into Doom. I think I played it in the beta, but what I played I loved. But yeah, other than that, it was just Doom. Whereas this looks like they're taking it on and they've listened to what the fans want. They said that on stage. You know, they were listening to fan feedback, going, okay, how can we make Doom Eternal better than Doom 1? And I feel like they've done that. I feel like they've taken the fan advice on board, and you're in for a treat if you like Doom, put it that way. It looks awesome. So Ubisoft, their conference was unexpected, to say the least. Well, you didn't start off, but one of the major ones was Starlink into Atlas, or saving Atlas, or whatever. Starlink Battle for Atlas, that was it, which was a game that I'd never heard of before. Looks quite interesting. Would I play it? Probably, but for a reason I'm going to talk about in a second. But yeah, essentially it looks like a romp through space trying to stop the bad guys from killing everything for something called the Harvest, mixed with Skylanders toys. So take from that what you will. However, the one thing that got me super excited, because I'm a fanboy, was the the reveal of Star Fox being in Starlink for the Nintendo Switch version of the game, which was awesome just to see it. You know, there hasn't been a proper Star Fox game in a while, so seeing them in a fully realized like HD 3D environment was awesome. I liked it. And that's probably the only reason I ended up playing Starlink, is just to play as Star Fox and Falco and that. So yeah, it'll be interesting. We'll see where that goes. And then we got Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Again, kind of surprising, because everybody was expecting a Splinter Cell release, but they never got it. But Odyssey looks interesting again. The only thing is, a lot of the ancient ones, I don't get why they're Assassin's Creed, because didn't the Assassins start against the Templar? You know, I don't know, it just confuses me a bit that they're going this far back. But having said that, the game looks awesome. The environments are gorgeous. It'll be interesting just to explore an ancient Grecian world. And then also the fact that you can just play as any Grecian faction, you know, like the entire trailer showed you the Spartans, but then as it went toward, there was that one bit at the end where it flicked through like 5 different Greek soldiers, I guess. Yeah, soldiers, because they were fighting. But it just showed them in different environments, like as different people wearing different stuff, which is significant if you're Greek, I guess. But then one thing to just to point out real quick is within like the first minute or so of the trailer, you get the Spartan kick, so it's awesome. I can't wait to play it. Then Microsoft turned up and absolutely blew my mind. I love this, and you're gonna know why in a minute. I mean, if you just look there, you could probably. Oh no, because I covered them up to seem professional. But they announced Halo 6 finally. That they're working on it with the new Slipspace engine, which is. It looks like an engine that is worthy of Halo. But this is where I geek out. I absolutely adored the trailer, even though there was nothing in it. You know, it was literally just a test of the engine and how the engine renders everything and such. However, there are some details that you can pick up in there if you're a Halo fan like me that excite you. So the biggest and the best example of this is Master Chief's armor. Now, even though you only see the leg and the helmet, you take that and then look at the leg and the head from Halo 5 of Chief's armor, and the one in this Halo Infinite trailer looks so sleek and so simple. It is obviously a callback to the Halo 2 and Halo 3 armors. Now, this is because obviously they had a lot of backlash saying the armors look shit and this and that. However, what I love about the trailer is the fact that they've mixed the art styles. They haven't binned the new one. Like, the helmet is the Halo 5 and Halo 4 helmet, but it's done in a Halo 3 and Halo 2 way, which is awesome. The soldiers, the soldiers with the battle rifles that are holding each other up, they're carrying the battle rifles from Halo 4 and 5. However, they're wearing the armor from like Reach and Combat Evolved, which is again awesome to see. You know, it shows that they've listened to the community for the first time in what feels like fucking forever, and they've gone, yeah, we fucked that up, but don't worry, we've listened to you, we've fixed it now, we know where we are with you, and we want to make this the best that we can for you, with this being the culmination of 2 trilogies worth of story. So I'm excited to see what Halo 6 has got, but am I confident? No. And then they announced Forza Horizon 4, but I mean, who really gives a fuck? It's based in England, so we're ready for potholes and traffic cameras and traffic. But one thing I did like though is how the trailer played through with the McLaren, which was quite nice to give the symbology between the car and the place you're racing in. But yeah, other than that, it's Forza Horizon, you've played through already, you don't need a 4th. Just when I thought the nerdgasms were over, Nintendo showed up to the party. Nintendo from start to finish, I was gobsmacked really. The first 2 I could hit and miss. There was one about like mechs fighting, and then there was another one that was Xenoblade 2. But then they kicked things off with the announcement of Super Mario Party. Now, Super Mario Party, it's the new Mario Party. However, it's exciting because they've returned to form finally. They've stopped everybody going around in the same car. You now have your own individual players that go around the board individually. So we're back to that kind of format, which everybody missed about the Mario Party. There's also more than 4 players allowed on the map at any time. This has been seen several times in the trailer, like on the map, where I think you had 1st, 2nd, 3rd and 4th at the top being Mario, Goomba, Peach and Bowser. But then on screen you had Mario, Goomba, Rosalina and Yoshi. So it's like, it doesn't match up. So either that's a mistake in the promotional material, or it's confirmation that you can have like 8-player parties, or like, I think there was an example of 16-player parties. There was like several mini games where you have 16 players on screen. There's also a brand new roster with like a lot of old characters coming back. You've got Dry Bones coming back, you've got Hammer Bro coming back, but then also you've got some new ones, like I was saying, Goomba's in the game. You've got Diddy Kong in the game finally, you've got Bowser Jr. in the game. Bowser's back to being playable. So it's exciting for Mario Party, I guess. And then they announced, well, they did a big like 20-minute thing on Super Smash Bros., which was awesome. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. It's called Ultimate because you can officially play as every single character that's ever been in Super Smash Bros., including like third-party characters like Snake and Cloud and Sonic. They're all playable still. Snake's back, which is awesome. I loved Snake, and I was sad when he didn't turn up in the 3DS or Wii U versions. But then they also announced 3 new characters. Well, one of them we already knew, it was Inkling. So then they announced a further 2 players, which were mind-blowingly Ridley. And then they also announced Daisy was going to be in the game as a playable character, which called it from my DLC video, and everybody shot me down saying no, they'd sooner go with Waluigi than Daisy, so suck it. But the one thing I loved about that is the fact that they acknowledged that some characters play similar to other characters. In this new faction of fighters that they got called Echo Fighters or something like that, which contain like Dark Pit and Lucina and therefore Daisy as well. So I wonder if we're going to see like Dr. Mario go down on this list, and you know, like Ganondorf go down for Captain Falcon and stuff like that. So it'd be interesting to see how that plays out in the game. But one thing I'm hopeful for is some kind of trailer announcing a Subspace 2 on that, because that would be awesome to play as everybody in like a Subspace adventure mode. That would be amazing. And then finally, one more thing I want to talk about, kind of like an honourable mention, is that Sega debuted a trailer for Team Sonic Racing, which everybody at first shat all over it. But then it's nice because it's like a Mario Kart mixed with Sonic Heroes. There's this thing where you get like a team on the track, but they're all individual. But if your team lines up together, you can hit like, you get like a special item or something, I'm not sure yet. But you just go really, really fast, and it'll be cool to see how that plays out in a Mario Kart game environment. But I also heard that because the game's going to be on Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation, that there's going to be some kind of exclusive character for all three. I heard it's a rumor, not confirmed, but Mario is going to be in the Nintendo Switch one, and then Banjo-Kazooie was going to be in the Xbox one, and I can't remember who was going to be in the PlayStation one, but obviously they'll have to switch this up a bit if there's the 3x3 mechanic, you know. So they'd have to have 3 per thing, which it'd be interesting to see how that plays out. So yeah, that's been my E3 roundup. Don't forget, you can comment down below. I do read and will reply to all comments left. So talk to me about what your favourite game was from E3. Are you excited for Halo? Are you excited for Mario Party? Are you excited for... I know that there was a Yakuza thing, I think, at E3. Are you excited for that? Because it's just interesting to see what everybody's at. You know, are you excited for the indie titles released for the Xbox, for the Nintendo Switch? Are you excited about the developers announced for Xbox One? You know. So, yeah. I've been the Randomizer 118. You've been some of my very lovely haters. And I will see you in the next one. So, I'll see you later. Press start.